businesswoman and Politico reporter Bethany Dawson. Great to see you as always. Happy Saturday. We've made it to the weekend.
I know.
Let's kick off, shall we, though? Bethany, with the Times, the front page there, a message to Reeves. Britain needs a dose of Trump positivity. Take it away.
So this is actually from Reeves, which is a really big change in her normal sort of slight doom and gloom approach to the economy. The Times have done this interview with her, and when you open up the paper, it's absolutely fantastic. There are these pictures of her laughing and smiling and really how we actually don't see the Chancellor very often. And she has said that actually it's kind of time to do away with that doom and gloom mentality. We need to big up Britain. We really need to sort of advocate for ourselves. And she's saying here, we've got our best days lying ahead of us. We should be shouting from the rooftops. People have been too polite and apologetic about Britain. I think that just sounds quite British, actually. But this is just a really interesting change from the Chancellor after Davos about how we sort of need to advocate for our country and about, of course, you know, a couple of lines in, she does say there are difficult times ahead. We've heard that message many, many times and we feel that message every day. But it's a really interesting shift that we're seeing, that we need maybe some more sun, you know, proverbial sun and literal sun in our approach to the economy.
The Chancellor going on to say, Alison, we're absolutely fantastic as a country. We've got the 4 best universities in the world. We've got some of the most amazing entrepreneurs with fantastic ideas.
Correct.
This messaging, should we not have heard this much earlier last year?
Well, we should have probably been hearing it for the last 50 plus years, you could say, because this country is incredible. If you think about the influence that Britain has through film, TV, entrepreneurs, where it is on AI, where it is on medtech, fintech, etc. I mean, it is incredibly remarkable, both the creative industries and innovation generally, but innovation also around businesses and the concept of businesses internationally. So, I mean, as an American living here, you know, I know a lot about talking proudly about your country, and I think this country's a fantastic place. It ought to be way more confident and much more bullish about its achievements around the globe.
As we did see, didn't we, last year, talking down the economy had a big knock-on effect for people feeling confident to go out and spend any money on the high streets. And that had a big knock-on effect.
Sure. And the mindset is really important. I think you have to articulate the vision of where you want to take people. And it sounds from the story that Rachel Reeves is trying to paint a picture of, here's a rosier future, here's a better future, and please come with us on the journey.
Yeah, and that special relationship we often hear about, so often, that's going to be a bumpy ride, isn't it? As Peter Mandelson is set to do his thing, but then you've got Nigel Farage in the shadows offering help, and tariffs, and potential tariffs that could be put on the UK, although, you know, Jonathan Reynolds says, we're OK, we'll be all right. It's going to be tricky, Bethany.
It absolutely is going to be tricky. I think all the people negotiating this deal are going to be pulled in so many different directions. The front page, which I think we'll talk about in a little while, speaks about how the NHS might be on the table in terms of what America wants access to, what they're describing as a full fat trade agreement. There's going to be so many different things and so many people being unhappy with different details, both here and in the States, and to achieve exactly what both sides want, I think is going to be incredibly difficult.
And fascinating to watch it play out.
It is.
Let's move on to the Daily Mail. This is page 41. Savvy shoppers, 2 hours and 18 minutes each week.
I know.
Looking for deals.
It's incredible. So some research was done by Compare the Market or Meerkat, depending on your point of view. And their survey says that consumers generally spend roughly 2 hours, 18 minutes a week pursuing deals. So these are specifically in supermarket deals, holiday deals, clothing deals. Now, why is that? Because it's the thrill of the chase. We all love snagging a bargain.
Yeah.
And there's something very addictive about that rush you get when you find that you have uncovered a secret hidden coupon somewhere in a newspaper, on a
Completely.
website.
Do you know what I'd be really interested to find out about this research is what time in the day or night this happens?
Yes, I
do
know.
a lot of browsing when it's really terrible, when I'm in bed and everyone else is asleep. So I'd be interested to find out when this happens, and I make very dubious purchases, I have to say.
Well, it could also, I too would love to know about, is it more men than women, women than men? Is it certain age groups? Is it in the home? Is it while you're at work? A lot of people during the workday are also, okay, I'm going to have a little break. Oh, look at this great deal on the Bahamas. I'm going to book that trip.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the Bahamas. Bethany, let's hop over to the Daily Telegraph front page. And this is EU pushes Starmer to join new defence pact. This will be hot off the heels of Donald Trump and his criticism of defence spending across the EU.
Absolutely, and as I was saying previously, with lots of different deals, each side are going to be pulled in different directions. This is the same. Keir Starmer is, as we know, has actually faced quite a lot of criticism for his relationship with the EU. People have said that he's too sort of close with the European Union. His critics have complained that he's brought Britain too close, or he could bring Britain too close. Now, this story does mention that there aren't, it seems, very many people from our side keen on this sort of defence pact. But you're absolutely right. This does come in response to Donald Trump being elected, criticising defence spending, and the EU, specifically Donald Tusk, the Polish Prime Minister, saying something along the lines of, well, we don't need to listen to him, we can do it by ourselves. It will be expensive, but an interesting point that is made is European officials are not ruling out totally Keir Starmer being interested in this, because it could help him reach the 2.5% defence spending without necessarily spending lots and lots and lots more money. It could be a sort of sidestep, but I've got to be honest, I think he would receive a lot of criticism for working with the EU in this way, and I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm not necessarily saying this one looks like it's absolutely happening.
OK, I just wanted to go back to the Daily Telegraph, and this is a story about Guinness.
Yeah, it's
Alison,
a really interesting story.
Talk us through.
Yeah, so basically, the owner of Guinness is a company called Diageo. Used to be Grand Metropolitan years and years ago. And because Guinness is incredibly popular now, why not sell on a high? So Diageo is considering the sale of Guinness.
Yeah.
It would be, the valuation of that brand is £8 billion, which is, again, back to this earlier story about being bullish about the achievements of the UK. This is an achievement of the UK in a way, Ireland. So, yeah, I think there's a lot to talk through.
More after the break from us.
I saw police being forceful, pushing young men